Alright, so for your homework assignment last night, starting with question number 1, Paul and his friends average their test grades and find their average is 95. The teacher announces that the average grade of all her classes is 83. Why are the averages so different? Well, remember how we talked about yesterday how random samples get you the best average, or it will give you the best average or the best way to calculate your average. When Paul and his friends averaged their test grades, they weren't doing random sampling. They were just choosing a select group. Paul didn't choose anybody at random. He chose his friends. Now his friends might be the type of people who study for a test or study for a quiz. And so when those people study, their averages together are going to be higher than the rest of the class. So in this case, why are the averages so different? Could be because Paul and his friends studied. This is not a random sample. Remember, if it's not a random sample, more likely than not, it's not going to be the same average or close to the average that everybody else is going to get. Alright, so that was question number 1. Question number 2. Nancy hears a report that the average price of gasoline is $2.82. She averages the prices of stations near her home. She finds the average price of gas to be $3.03. Why are the averages different? Well, it could be because Nancy hears a report on the national average. This could be national average, 282, and she's only taking a look at the averages near her home. Near her home is just a small selection compared to the average prices of gas in the country. So the averages are different because she averaged only the gas stations near her home. That's the only gas stations she chose, were the ones closest to her home. To get a better average, or to get a better average, she should have chosen gas stations at random, not only near her house, but also gas stations that aren't close, maybe in a different state, or maybe a different city, something like that. That will get her closer to that national average of 282. Alright, so question number 3, we need to figure out, is this a biased or an unbiased sample? Carol wants to find out the favorite foods of students at her middle school. She asks the boys' basketball team about their favorite foods. This right here should tell you whether or not this is a biased or unbiased sample. In this case, this is a biased sample. And you also have to understand why it's a biased sample, and that's what they want you to explain. Explain your reasons, so explain why this is a biased sample. This is a biased sample because she only chose a select group of people that might show a favoritism towards one food. She chose the boys' basketball team. This wasn't random because she chose the boys' basketball team. Also, there were no girls involved. Girls sometimes have different tastes in foods. So this is a biased sample because she only chose the boys' basketball That's the reason why it's a bias sample, because of the group that she chose as her sample wasn't random. That's the reason why. And finally, the last one. Dallas wants to know what elective subjects the students at his school like best. He surveys students who are leaving band class. This part right here should tell you whether or not this is a biased or unbiased sample. In this case, this is a biased sample. The reason for that is because of the location in which he is asking this question. He is asking students who are leaving band class. If students are leaving band class, they are probably taking band class. If they're taking band, that probably means that that's probably their favorite elective subject, or more likely to be their favorite subject. So the reason for this biased sample is because he chose to survey students who are taking band. It's the same thing if he were to choose asking students who are leaving physical education. Then obviously they're going to choose PE as their favorite elective, or most of them will. So after these four, hopefully you've gotten a better understanding of what it is to be a random sample and what it is to be a biased sample. I have a process chart hanging up to your right that gives the definition to population, sample, random sample, and bias sample. And this is going to help you with today's work.